And welcome back to Sin and Fin, the Dugout Decision Show.
Yes, the Blue Jays have signed right-handed hitter Kazuma Okamoto from the NPB. It is a 4-year, $60 million deal, and boy, can this guy hit, Aiden.
Absolutely. I don't think this is the guy that we were expecting, right? We're obviously looking at Bichette and Tucker the whole offseason. Even some of the Japanese guys. I know you really wanted Imai, right? Who's projected to be a good pitcher. We look at Murakami as well, who ended up on the White Sox of all teams. The markets didn't really play out for these guys the way we expected to, the 100 million, the $200 million deals. This is a pretty good deal. And like you said, the hitter that he is, solid power hitter, good average hitter. I think he'll be a good addition to this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden, I didn't expect this at all. I
Not at
saw a lot
all.
of rumors last night. We talked about this before the podcast. Um, could it be Padres? Could it be Pirates? Just
Yeah.
teams like this. And you didn't really think that the Blue Jays could be an option because people thought he'd be a third baseman. And obviously,
Yeah.
we have a few options. We have Addison Barger, we have Ernie Clement, and there's been a lot of Alex Bregman rumors, who is a third baseman and can't move off that
Yeah.
position. So I think that completely eliminates Alex Bregman from the fold here. And you have
Yeah.
Kazuma Okamoto, who is a very valuable player. I mean, this guy can hit a lot. And you know what he does? He's a very contact-oriented player, just like the Toronto Blue Jays. He had a
Yeah.
327 batting average in 2025, and obviously these stats will be inflated because it's against worse competition in NPB. He had an 11.3 strikeout percentage. I mean, that's Alejandro Kirk-esque. That is
Wow.
very good. And for reference, the Blue Jays had the lowest strikeout percentage in the league with 17.8%. So this is a great fit for the Toronto Blue Jays. And also, he's a very versatile player. He can play first base, can play third base, can play left field. And you know what? He has three gold gloves, two at
Wow.
third base, one at first base. So this is a very unique player. Will he be like Stephen Kwan out there in the outfield or Matt Chapman at third base? No, he'll be an average defensive player, but he can hit very, very well.
You're right. And it fits the Jays mold, right? They seem to like these high average guys, high WRC plus, high OPS. But how about the power numbers too? Since 2018, his first full season in the NPB, I'm just going to give you his home run numbers year by year. We're talking 33, 31, 31, 39, 30, 41, 27, and then last year only played in 69 games, his first injury plagued season. Still put up 15 home runs. So you're getting the average, like you said. How about a 327 average? Still hitting 15 home runs in 69 games. Even looking back to when he played in the WBC for Japan, had a 333 batting average, 1278 OPS. This guy's bringing the power. He's bringing the average. Sure, the defense might not be great. It might be average, but look, the Jays have one of the best defenses in the league, right? I think it was 2023 and 24. They won the team gold glove. Arguably should have had it last year as well. We have some great defenders, so that's not really a big concern. The big question here is how does he do against velocity? Because we look at the other big free agent this offseason, it's Munetaka Murakami. And the stat that's floating around out there that against 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, he's hitting under 100. Is that the case? I don't know. But some other stats here for reference that I found earlier today on in their career comparison Murakami versus Okamoto versus 93 plus. And again, in the MPB, you're not going to see a lot of that. So this is a smaller sample size. But in their career, Murakami's hitting 188 against 93-mile-an-hour fastballs. Okamoto is hitting 289 with a 916 OPS and 19 home runs in 289 plate appearances. So I like those stats. I see the highlights as well. Hits a grand slam a couple years ago against Sasaki, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. He hits a grand slam. He's hitting tanks off Trevor Bauer in Japan. So I think I like the move. It's not the guy we were expecting, but I like the move.
Yeah, sticking on the comparison train, I have a few notes here. So, in the last seasons of Murakami, Seiya Suzuki, Masataka Yoshida in the NPB, Kazuma Okamoto had a higher WRC plus than all of them. And they have
Oh,
translated quite well. You think of Masataka Yoshida, okay, he hasn't really translated that well. A lot of that has been injuries. But you think of Seiya Suzuki, man, that guy had like 120 RBIs last year. That is a
yeah.
very valuable player. and Okamoto had a higher WRC plus than all of them. So this is a
Yeah.
very high floor player. Don't be like, oh no, we're gonna get Shun Yamaguchi again.
Oh, jeez.
No, no, do not
No,
worry. Um, we did not just sign Shun Yamaguchi for
no.
4 years, okay? This is a really consistent player that fits the mold of the Blue Jays very well. And also,
Yeah.
man, this guy kills left-handed pitchers. And we haven't had a left-handed pitcher killer. Well, I guess Ernie Clement did at times in 2025, but in a long time, okay? Now, before the offseason, you were thinking, okay, I don't want Miles Straw in pinch hitting opportunities. Do we get a Rob Refsnyder? Do we get
Yeah.
someone like that? Ross said, no, I'm looking bigger. I want Kazuma Okamoto. And boy, this is a crazy stat right here. So he had a 263 WRC plus in 2025 against left-handed pitchers, which
Wow.
is otherworldly. If you guys don't know WRC plus or haven't heard of that stat before, here's a good reference point. Aaron Judge, who had one of the best seasons, I believe, ever hitting wise, had a 204 WRC plus last year.
Wow.
So Okamoto has 60 points higher against lefties, so he kills lefties. And a big question I have is who's coming off the roster if we just got a lefty killer? We all love
Man.
David Schneider, but the question I'm going to pose here is what is David Schneider going to do? Like, are the Blue Jays going to move on from David Schneider? Because this seems a little bit redundant right now. So we've heard that Okamoto could play left field. That's where David Schneider played. Schneider's in there to smash lefties. Okamoto can do the same. What's with David Schneider? Is he on the team next year, Aiden?
I don't know. There's a lot of players that are like that, right? We talked about your guy, Joey Loperfido, right? Another
Yeah.
outfielder. The Nathan Lucases, the Jonathan Clases coming up, the Miles Straws, the Davis Schneiders. So many of these guys, like, where are they going to play? Right? The playing time isn't there. Think now if the Jays are going to go and get Bo Bichette. I don't know. There's all kinds of teams interested in him now. If they do go out and get him, he's your second baseman. You keep Jimenez at short. If Okamoto's your third baseman, Addison Barger has to be in the outfield. Like you said, where's the playing time for these guys? Maybe this is a benefit in the long run. It never hurts to have too many good players, and these are solid players. These aren't scrubs we're talking about. Does that turn into a trade package? Maybe you throw two or three of these guys into a trade package and you got a Mason Miller. I don't know. I've mentioned that before. Do you do that and then he's your closer and then Jeff Hoffman's your setup guy and you got Tyler Rogers now and look, that's a great bullpen. I'm not really sure where they go from here. What's the next move? What did they do with the surplus of players they have? Again, it's not a bad thing to have a lot of great talent. It's just where do you fit them? A lot of these guys are going to see a lot of playing time at AAA, but they're not 21, 22 anymore. These are 25, 26-year-olds we're talking about. So we'll see where they go. And again, is it Bo? Is it Tucker next? Do they have the money? I think it was around 270 million, something like that, that the Jays spent this offseason already before Okamoto, which is by far the most of any team this offseason. We're used to seeing the Dodgers at the top. It's by far the most. Now you added another 60 mil, so they're well over 300 million spent this offseason. They're throwing everything out there. If we've done that so far, why not get Bichette? Why not get Tucker? I think it's a little unrealistic to say we get both of them now, but maybe one of them. Again, the playing time, like you said, it's not going to be there for those other surplus of players, but you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all in. Let's just make a super team. Let's just do it at this point. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, really. And one thing I think this answers is Bo, Tucker. Why not both? We've mentioned this multiple
Yeah,
times.
I
If
guess.
Ed wants to open the bank accounts and just give players what they want, give them a blank
Yeah,
check, let's get both of them guys. I think this eliminates that. I don't think there's a world where you get Okamoto, Bo, and Tucker. I think
yeah.
it's just Okamoto and one of Bo or Tucker, which I think is awesome. I think
Oh
that
yeah,
it's still a great fit. I think Okamoto was signed on a very good deal. It wasn't like, oh, we spent
yeah.
way too much money on Okamoto. Now, one
No,
thing we didn't mention is the posting fee that went with the $60 million deal for Okamoto. So the Blue Jays do have to pay a posting fee. And also something that I don't believe we mentioned was no opt-outs.
True.
Way too often in MLB, and I'm a big contract and management guy, so I love opt-outs. But it happens so often and just gives the players so much leverage. And if you saw Tetsuya Imai's contract with the Astros, um, something I hadn't really seen before, I think Alex Bregman did it last offseason, was he had an opt-out after every year, which is crazy. So he signed a
Wow.
3-year deal. I think it was $54 million total with a lot of incentives, so $18 million per year. But he has the choice to opt out of that contract after every year. So you don't know what's going to
Mm,
happen. Is he going to be here for 3 years? Is he going to be here for one? But with Okamoto, you get all 4 years, zero opt-outs. I think it's a great deal. And also
yeah.
something to consider is he's 29 years old. So this happened with George Springer. Um, what team is going to give him the sixth year? Because all the teams are at 5 years. If you want to sign George Springer, you got to give him that sixth year. Who gave him the sixth year? It was the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, Kazuma Okamoto, the guy's 29 years old. Do you want to give him 4 or 5 years? I don't think so. Well, the Blue Jays did it, and they landed their guy. So
Yeah.
I think this was great work by Ross and everyone else who was involved. And I think he's going to be a really fun player. I think he's going to be a guy the fans love because this guy, all he does is hit. And what else does he do? He pulls fly balls. I
Yeah.
mean, back in 2024, when Don Mattingly was the captain of the offense or the offense coordinator or whatever
Oh,
that stuff was,
jeez.
um, yeah, we're not going to have a guy hitting 30 home runs. We're going to have like five guys hitting 20 home runs. That's what Don Mattingly was saying. We're going to go
Yeah.
opposite field. We're going to hit tall fields, whatever. Pop comes in, just hit the ball hard, pull
Yep.
it, and Kazuma Okamoto's pulled fly ball percentage is very high. So I love to see that as well. And I'm very excited about this deal. Now, one other thing that was a question in my mind right when he signed was, okay, he's kind of like Anthony Santander as well. Not a great
Yeah.
fielder, seems like a really good hitter. What do you see for Anthony Santander in 2026?
Oh man, I mean, if he gets back to even 25, maybe is 30 home runs too much to ask for? I don't know. Is he that 44 home run guy from 2024? I don't think so. I don't think he's getting back to those heights. Just like you look at a guy like Vlad, right, who hit 48 and never got back close to that. But if we can get 25 from Santander, that would be great. But it's tough because, again, like you said, he's not great with the defense. You really don't want to see him out there in left field. But you have George Springer at DH, and look at how great he was at DH, right? So you have to keep him there at least for another year. I don't even know at this point with Santander if they're going to go out and get Tucker. I don't see where the playing time is. We talked about this before the podcast as well, that Addison Barger would most likely have to move out to the outfield if you put Okamoto at third base. And where's the playing time for Santander? We're talking about not there being playing time for Davis Schneider and Nathan Lucas and those guys. Now we're talking about no playing time for Anthony Santander, who's on, I think it was close to $100 million, his contract, 92 million, something like that. And we're talking about there not even being playing time for him. Does he become a bench bat? I mean, that's a pretty good bench bat if he's hitting home runs, if his shoulder's okay. But you're right. It's a very team friendly deal for Okamoto. This doesn't handicap them to go out and get other players. Look how much they spent on Dylan Cease and Tyler Rogers and Cody Ponce. And then, yeah, let's go get our guy Okamoto. So they've addressed the starting pitching, obviously, they brought Shane Bieber back, which I think a lot of people forget about. 1 year deal, and we'll see what the health is, but they brought him back. They get Cody Ponce, KBO MVP. They bring in Dylan Cease. And again, I think this is just showing that the Jays are finally being taken serious. Dylan C said pretty early on, this was November we're talking about, not December, not January, not February, pretty early. This is the team I want. Hey, Scott, pick up the phone. We're going to the Jays. We're going to Toronto for 7 years. Then they get Tyler Rogers back into the bullpen. They've addressed the lineup with Okamoto. He's probably fifth in the order, sixth in the order, something like that. Good power bat, good average bat. I think it's one more move. Maybe it's another reliever, but probably it's that impact bat. You'll get that impact bat, and that's it. And to think that that's our off season, think how much that World Series run helped. We're going to keep looking in retrospect how much that World Series run helped. We're already over 300 million spent this offseason, which we're not used to, and we're still talking about Bo and we're still talking about Tucker. So to your point, I don't even know where Anthony Santander is going to play. Heck, it only seems like, I don't know, Vlad and Springer and a couple other guys have guaranteed spots on the team because we have so many good players. But you know what? I love it. Get me one more reliever, get me another bat, and this is a pretty amazing offseason.
It's a pretty historic offseason. Like it's insane that the Blue Jays are doing this. I saw that they were $130 million over the second highest spending team this offseason in free
Yeah.
agency, and that was the Baltimore Orioles. Um, that is crazy. That is just crazy stuff that Rogers Communications and everyone involved is doing, and I love it. Let's go over some numbers here. I'm a big numbers guy, and I was like, they're spending so much money. Like I got to
Yeah.
look at what's going on here.
Let's
So
hear
the
it.
the 2025 payroll to start the season was $258 million. A lot of money, a lot of money. They were within the top 10 last year. And
Okay.
right now, we don't have Bo, don't have Tucker, $279 million right now on the
Wow.
payroll for next year. That's $21 million more than last year. And that's with Bassett, Scherzer, all those guys off the roster. Crazy, crazy stuff. Now, there's a competitive balance tax, okay? There's no salary cap in baseball, so there's a CBT that penalizes teams that go over a certain number. And this year, that number was $244 million. They're
Wow.
$35 million over that, and they still haven't signed Bo or Tucker yet. Just crazy stuff. And then Steve
Wow.
Cohen was spending like crazy, got Max Scherzer, got Justin Verlander, and they created the
Yeah.
Steve Cohen tax, right? So this penalizes teams that go way over the CBT, the competitive balance tax. So the highest threshold, the worst penalty you can get in the Steve Cohen tax is $304 million. That is $25 million away. Okay. So is Tucker
Wow.
Bo going to cost more than $25 million a year? I sure think so. And there are going to be plenty of other moves. Well, not plenty. They've done most of their business. I let's like their bullpen, I think, is done. You
Yeah.
said one more move. Um, I think they're good with their
Yeah.
lefties
That's
and
fair.
like Spencer Miles, and Eduardo Bastardo, I think was the guy they got
Yeah.
last year in the Rule 5 draft, and Tommy Nance and all those guys. They have a lot of options in the bullpen. I
Yeah.
don't think they make another move there. Starting pitching, done. Like it's overflowing
Yeah.
right now, I
Oh yeah.
think. And also batting, like Bo
Yeah.
or Tucker, and then I
Yeah.
think you're pretty much done. Don't need a backup catcher. You got Heineman. So that's really one more player, I think,
Yeah.
at least. And so I think we're going to go over the highest threshold of the Steve Cohen tax, which is
Wow.
$304 million, which just shows that the Blue Jays don't care. Ownership doesn't care about thresholds,
Nope.
doesn't care about going over anything. They see a winning team, a team that shook Canada, that everyone was watching, that their
Yeah.
viewership went up like crazy. Their Sportsnet Plus subscriptions went up like crazy. And what are they doing? They're putting
Yep.
it back into this ball club, and it is awesome to watch. This is an A plus off season right now without Bo or Tucker. Okay, like this is just crazy what they're doing. They revamped the starting pitching. I've seen so many graphics of, hey, the 2025 starting pitching rotation for the Toronto Blue Jays was Gosman, Barrios like number two, and then
Oof.
Bassett, Scherzer, and who's in the five hole? It's Bowden Francis, okay?
Oh my
And then
God.
you look at it right now,
Wow.
completely revamped. It's awesome to watch.
For all the people worried about the money, it's not our money, right?
Yeah.
It's Ed Rogers, it's Mark Shapiro, it's Ross Atkins. They can do whatever they like with it, and they're spending it, right? I will switch up with the bullpen. I think, honestly, now that I think about it, I'm forgetting about Ricky T. I think I'm sticking with it. I think that's the lefty I want out of the bullpen. So I'm big on him next year. I know we both are. Hopefully he makes an impact next year. So I think you're right. They're probably good with relievers. Get the one more bat. Just go all in. Whether it's Bo, whether it's Tucker, both, whatever it is, some form of that, some combination of that. get that done. And like you said, already an A plus off season, and to think it can get even better, like that's the incredible part. The other thing I think too is finally getting one of these Japanese stars. It took them a while. They missed out on Otani, Sasaki, Yamamoto, even this offseason, Murakami, Imai, which I know you liked as well. They miss out on all of them. They don't get any of them. Like you said, the Yamaguchis, they really haven't gotten any real Japanese superstar talent. And is Okamoto going to turn out to be that? I don't know, but he's at least a star player, maybe not a superstar player. He's not Shohei Otani. He's not Yamamoto. But just think with the Dodgers, the cultural influence that it had bringing over these Japanese stars. The viewership went through the roof. And I'm not suggesting here that Okamoto is the same as Otani or even Yamamoto in his own right. He's not, definitely not. Maybe, I don't know, is he going to be a 50 home run guy? I don't know. He'll surprise us. But on paper, looking at his MPB stats, he's not. That's fair to say. He's not Otani, he's not Yamamoto. But there are so many fans in Japan. They take baseball so seriously. Again, look at the impact Okamoto had in the 2023 WBC. Japan takes the WBC really seriously. Is he going to be playing in 2026? I don't know. I assume he would be playing. Again, he's 29, he's in his prime. But think about the cultural influence as well. We talked about the viewership going through the roof for the Jays. The attendance should be through the roof on opening day, right? In 2026,
Oh
based
yeah.
on the year they had. Now, if you're bringing in Japanese viewership, I mean, that's putting them through the roof. And again, we were so close to taking down the Dodgers last year without the Cease move, without the Okamoto move, all these moves. To think we were that close, an inning away, less than an inning away, a couple outs away, and now you're going after all these players. Ross says, yeah, screw it. I don't care how much money it is. Push the button. Oh, yeah, Cease, yeah, push that button. Okamoto, like you said, the guys they want, they're going out and getting. We have not seen this before, and that just shows how important that playoff run is. I don't know if it's Bo, is it Tucker, whatever it is. I think I like this Okamoto signing. If we don't get either or, I think I'll like it because, okay, it'll mean at least we got a bat, and this is a pretty good bat at that. I still would like them to go out and get Bo and Tucker, but at least they did address the lineup, which was a good thing. So we'll see how it plays out next year, but so far they're really addressing all their needs.
Yeah, and I love what this front office is doing, and it hasn't changed. Like it really hasn't. Still Ross and Mark leading charge, and just looking back at a
Yeah.
few off seasons we've experienced as Blue Jays fans, some some people may think we're bandwagons. Okay, no, we
Nope.
struggled through the years.
Hmm.
Okay, so just bring up some names here. Justin Turner,
Oh,
right.
cleanup
Brandon
hitter.
Belt being our big signing. Brandon Belt was awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
bring back Kevin Kiermaier in his second year.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Oh.
Like just moves where
Ah,
IKF and Justin Turner like in free agency, like just stuff where you would log on to Twitter and be like, what is my team doing? I'm not going to watch a few games this year because like they're just putting a bad product on the field. You look at now, Cody Ponce. He's a pretty darn good fifth starter. And then you got
yeah.
Okamoto, you got Cease. Oh my goodness, Tyler Rogers out of the bullpen. He's going to be amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Wow, what an offseason. Like, this is crazy stuff. And I keep seeing Yankees fans on Twitter. Shout out Yankees fans. My goodness, what are the Yankees doing right now? That
Oh,
I don't think there's a chance they get Bellinger. I really don't because man, that price is gonna go way up. I think the Mets
yeah.
are gonna put up a offer a big deal for Bellinger and run that price up. And I don't know if the Yankees can compete in that race for Cody Bellinger. And man, they didn't get Tetsuya Imai, and a bunch of Yankees fans thought he would
Yeah.
be another big move. And they're like, oh no, the Jays are doing this. Oh, like this is amazing. It's so
Yeah.
fun to watch. Just Yankees fans tremble and they may not even be making a profit. And you look to next year that they won't have Carlos Rodon in April, won't have Garrett Cole in April. Anthony
Yeah.
Volpe just had surgery, and the Blue Jays have like one of the easiest schedules to start the season I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
watch
It's
out.
crazy.
This could be crazy, and the AL East is pumping right now. Like I think the
Yeah.
Red Sox are going to get a big bat, whether it's Bregman or Bo. I don't want to say it, but
Oh, don't do that. Don't
maybe
do it.
just maybe if they lose
Oh,
out on Bregman, and then the Orioles still can't pitch. They got Zach Eflin, but they can hit. They can hit a
oh
lot,
yeah.
and so they're a really good team. Rays are always doing their thing. This is a very tough division, and this past season we saw how crucial it is to win your division, to bypass the wild card completely and go into the ALDS. And that's what the Jays want to do. That they not only
Yeah,
want to win their division, but they want to win the whole thing, right?
it's
And
huge. Yeah,
last episode we talked about how can we heal and how can we one up this past season? Win it all. Win it all. Okay.
yeah,
Stop the three-peat, stop the Dodgers three-peat and win it
yep.
all. And no team can win the World Series in the offseason. But this looks pretty awesome.
It's January 3rd when we're recording this for anyone listening. January 3rd, and they've already done all this. And you talk about being already an A plus off season. Again, January 3rd. We're not talking about going into February, going into March, and like you said, getting Justin Turner and IKF. Shout out
Ugh.
IKF. But that's not our offseason in February. Or even last year, the late signing of, we're getting into mid-February and then we get the 41-year-old Max Scherzer. No, we're getting all these guys, and these are most guys in their prime. In their prime years, we're doing that early in the offseason. So it's been great to watch. Do you have any more numbers on Okamoto?
I do not.
Okay, that's totally
But
fair. I
but
think I think we've said enough of him.
yeah, no. He's going to be a very fun watch, and it's always a tough bet seeing a Japanese player like how they will translate to the MLB. Will they struggle in the first month? Um, Whatever. But I think that they're very consistent bets. Like Seiya Suzuki is an amazing player, and
Yeah,
there's so many other players. Who knows what Munetaka Murakami is going to be? But there's so many other players. Look what Shohei Ohtani's doing. Look at what Yamamoto is doing. So many good
yeah.
pitching prospects, but also hitting as well. And he's going to be a very fun watch. And also, I think an underrated thing is he's going to be on a MLB prospects list at 29 years old.
Yeah.
How funny is that? 29-year-old prospect. That's funny.
Yeah, and I think they said Sasaki was the number one prospect last year. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, what are we doing here, guy? Throws 102 and he's been pumping gas in the MPB for a while. But
Yeah.
we can't wait to see what Okamoto's doing. I've heard BNS say too that wait till probably about mid-January, end of January to hear anything on Bo or Tucker. So we probably won't hear anything for a while. But this was a great signing. It was a surprise first move of the new year for the Jays, first notable move. So we can't wait to see what they do next. Is it Bo? Is it Tucker? We'll see. But stay tuned. Thanks for watching and go Jays.
Thanks for listening, guys. Go Jays.